This is a Heart and Hand production.
Hello folks, it's David here from Heart and Hand, just getting ready to go in for the unveiling of new manager Danny Rohl, as I'm told it's pronounced. This is my sixth one of these in 5 years. I'm kind of hoping it's a long time before Rangers are having another one, but we'll have some info for you today so you can see what it's like attending one of these.
Not going well. I think pressure in this business is usual. You have to learn this very soon, and I think some guys will maybe speak about my age or something like this, but I'm since 16 years in different steps and stations now in this part, and I had a great opportunity to work with Bayern Munich and be just the assistant coach, but I felt what it means to be a head coach and which pressure you have, because you come back, you start with winning games, then you win games, then some people will start, we have to play nice football, that's the next part. But this is exactly what I want to have. I enjoy as well to be here. I enjoy to work with you guys in the future, because it's also important to have this relationship, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Hello everyone, it's David and Adam here at Ibrox Stadium. We are in the members lounge after the press conference today to introduce new Rangers head coach Danny Rohl. He has joined, and you'll also get an exclusive interview from fan media later tonight with him. Adam, your thoughts on today's proceedings? First of all, the first press conference, there's a second one which is embargoed to tomorrow, so people will see that tomorrow, but the one today, a bit of a grilling for the chief executive, the chairman and the director of football, but Danny Rohl, when we did get to speak to him, seemed very assured.
Yeah, when I heard there was going to be two press conferences, I assumed there would be a Danny Rohl one and then a board one, but it was mixed together. Not a lot of football chat, you know my feelings on.
Yes, you're a big fan of football chat.
I enjoy the football. Yes, it seems strange to say, not so much the drama around about it. Yeah, there was a bit of a grilling, to be fair. I thought Andrew Kavanagh dealt with some pretty challenging questions quite well. I think it is easy when you're in that position to say we'll learn from mistakes. I think the three things he said: acknowledge the mistakes, own the mistakes, and rectify the mistakes. We're very much in rectify the mistakes territory. I think you can't say that they haven't admitted accountability.
No, you have to.
All that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think that was positive. Good to hear. I would hope that communication continues. I don't think it's one of those things that we want communication every time something happens on a weekly basis, but the lack of communication isn't just a problem in the last couple of months. It's been years, really, in terms of good, clear communication from the club, getting out on the front foot, being proactive. So that would be good to see if we can rectify that. I don't know if I'm in the minority yet. I've not looked at the social media reaction, but I thought Kevin Thelwell came across pretty well. And there are some two big albatrosses round his neck, shall we say?
Yeah, there are several, and he was asked about it. You can view the press conference, by the way, on the Rangers YouTube page, but he was asked about hiring his son. He was asked about Yusuf Chermiti. He was asked about Russell Martin and keeping him for as long as he did. Basically, everything fans wanted covered was covered, but as you say, that did eat into time to speak to Danny Rohl.
And I don't think... This is the thing, when people ask about communication and then they come out and say things, they'll be like, oh, you're just saying that. You're just saying that. Like, it can't be both. If you want somebody to communicate and be open and honest, I think Kevin Thelwell did that in there. He walked us through some of the decisions.
He did, though, say that his son would work even harder. He would work 25/8.
That was a bit much,
yeah. Don't see that one taking off.
So, yeah, I thought he said what he could, really. Ultimately, nobody really cares.
No, because it's been such a balls.
Because it's been such a balls up. It needs to be... I didn't ask that question. I asked that question in the embargoed section. But I thought he came across as well as he could have. I thought the manager was good. We didn't get to hear anywhere near enough of him. I think people will be saying that in the comments, no doubt. We did have an on the record fan media briefing with him there, where we got a little bit more time to chat some things through. The big things that came out for me was adaptability. I think, yes, being with Red Bull as a German coach, coming up through that with Hansi Flick, so that type of football is what he likes, but he recognises that you have to be adaptable. I asked that question about it's quite a rare challenge, and I don't mean the environment or Scottish football or anything. I just mean the fact that next week
some days we'll have 70% possession,
Roma
some days
Kilmarnock,
30%,
for example.
yeah.
I used those 2 examples. How do we adapt to that? And he said, I've got clear principles for when we don't have the ball and when we do have the ball. So it's ultimately just about flexing those and saying in some games that we do have the ball, we focus more on these things, and in some games that we don't, we will. So that sounds really sensible in theory. We've both said we want to see intensity, vertical football, pressing, cutbacks for the love of God, and actually scoring goals.
What's vertical football?
Getting the ball forward quickly.
Right, okay.
It's one of those things. Why have you changed that? Because it takes less time to say it.
Okay.
But yeah, getting the ball forward quickly.
I don't know, right? Vertical football. Get in the box.
Well, if you shout at you.
Okay.
No. But yeah, basically being direct, getting the ball forward.
And he mentioned his coaching staff, says he's bringing in 2 from Germany. His goalkeeping coach, he joked, but it's true, is already here, Sal Bibbo, and he's been one of the few successes this season.
And his best
Jack
player.
Butland's form has improved. And his best player is Aidi Gassama. He didn't say that, we did. But he also said that he will bring in an ex-Ranger onto the coaching staff. He did something similar with Chris Powell at Sheffield Wednesday. Wouldn't tell us who, but says he has 3 or 4, I think he said.
I think he said he's got a few candidates for Germany as well. Yeah, he's got two coaches.
He's got
from
2
Germany.
coaches from Germany, and he'll be bringing in. So overall, it was obviously positive. It's just talk, of course, but he did speak about changing things quickly. Mindset, he spoke about, and to get the ball forward. And he said something I absolutely loved, Adam, which was, I need to get them to realise that once you've got forward and there's only 6 players facing you, don't turn back and let them get the other 5 back.
Yeah. That's music to my ears,
yes.
Absolutely, because football is getting a bit different here. There are teams that are more likely to attack, even without Rangers being terrible. So there will be those sort of transition moments. I can count 5 or 6 off the top of my head, situations we've been in where we've played a really poor pass, someone's been offside, and if we were just a little bit more careful in those situations and go forward with the ball quicker, I think things could work. So it's not just a case of he's going to have to break down 10 men behind the ball every single week. I'm hoping some of the principles that he's got will be applicable, but ultimately every manager that comes in here talks very well in this press conference, and everyone says it, we need to put it into action, because if there was no time in the summer, we're in negative time now. So watch the press conference, see what you think. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Thanks to Adam. Thank you.
And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.